Alright, people, this is White Lion 1720, and I want to talk a little bit about how the narrative is being set and the perspective of people's views on things, and it is 100% being set, and just like a couple examples that we just had just in the last couple of days, and the narrative is always going to be against Trump voters, Trump supporters, and to classify them as domestic terrorism, and it's one thing to do that, but I mean, what's the definition of domestic terrorism? You're gonna have a lot of people that's gonna get entrapped, like due process isn't gonna work for them and all that, so they're setting that narrative. And one of the things, there's an article in the Washington Post a couple days ago about how Republicans saying they're being censored is actually disinformation. So NYU did a study on it and found out that C's, Republicans, Trumpers, whatever you want to call it, their interaction in social media was actually 10 times higher than the Democrat liberals on things such as election fraud and BLM. So they use that and say that, no, they're not getting censored. See, they're doing it more, but that's one of the things is that too. But most of the things is like people are getting kicked off. That's what I see a lot of people complaining about, is people getting kicked off, having to walk through tightrope to even do videos, like even on YouTube. People's got a talking code most of the time and stuff like that. They get flagged and they get right out of it. So that's so once again, they're setting that narrative that, oh, if you're being censored, you're whining. That's not true. And it's just gonna allow them to censor more of us, more people that are patriots or whatever you want to classify us as. That is. Man, they're really going after that representative there in Tennessee. And that's sad because that whatever district she is there in Tennessee, I mean, they basically taken away these people's voice away just like that. For what? I mean, what did she really say that was that bad that they would silence her and remove her from committees on that? And so you can see it right there. Another thing too is AOC. I was a couple days ago on her Instagram. She was talking about how she was fearing for her life. Been assaulted and stuff like that. Sitting there and just everybody feeling sorry for her. Oh, blah blah blah. All right, now tell them how many impressions that got. Okay. Now, after a little bit later, it comes out, well, one of the persons she said that was looking in there and looking for her or whatever, it came out, well, that was a Capitol Security or security enforcement there. So, that was kind of far-fetched, and then it comes out later that she wasn't even at the Capitol. She was in there across the street. So, but she still played it out like that. I'm like, I understand that you're across the street and you could be terrified and stuff like that, but after you realize that there's nothing to be afraid about, which there wasn't for her, then that's when normal people push that aside and be like, oh, there's nothing to be afraid about. It could have, but it's not carrying on like she does. So, and she even got to the point where after people started calling about it, she sent a mass email out to all of her little groupies and stuff like that to report anything that was trending, anybody using the hashtags with her, saying she lied. So I mean, that's setting the narrative right there. She wasn't even afraid, but she's gonna play it out like she was. that's what he's gonna run. Nobody's gonna see these other, journalists, real journalists that are saying, well, she wasn't even there. They don't get any kind of impressions that AOC's Instagram account gets. That's what people is gonna remember about this. It's crazy. They're out for blood. They are. He's just on Tucker. Bank of America was voluntarily giving FBI information on their people. Anybody that made purchases in Washington D.C. or whatever on the Capitol riot, and giving it to them so they cross-examined. That's crazy. That's crazy. Can you imagine that? These people, rights have been violated and given to the FBI. It's just ridiculous. Can't believe it. Everybody says, I've traveled the world a lot, and everybody says, oh, American, the land of the free. And when you go to some of these countries, man, a lot of these countries have a lot more freedoms than we have. We just don't. We're blind. You know what I mean? We're blind, and they let us have the freedom, but they take it away as soon as they want to, and they do it in front of our faces, and that's not. So, narrative, man. They got it. They own it. They're running with it. And they're bringing some heat with that. So, all right, man, be safe.